This week on Intrigued Full Effect.
Right now, I have no idea. I haven't been in touch with anyone in the police department. No one. No one have reached out or contacted me about anything, so I don't know. I think my case has turned into a cold case.
I'm Chandrea Thomas, and welcome to episode 61. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. In this podcast, I talk about curious cases, disappearances, and other stuff. And today I'm talking about the murder of 27-year-old Turhan Clay from Detroit, Michigan. It all happened on August 8th, 2017, on the west side of Detroit. This is all while he was walking down Woodward Avenue near State Fair Street with a man who goes by the name of Smoke. That's when someone wearing a mask came from out of the bushes, attacked Turhan, and shot him. He died soon after. I spoke to Turhan's heartbroken mother, Carmela Williams, and I reached out to investigators about the cold case. This is what happened. So tell me, what happened with your son? What's going on right now?
Well, right now, I have no idea. I haven't been in touch with anyone in the police department. No one. No one have reached out or contacted me about anything, so I don't know. I think my case has turned into a cold case. It's been 7 years, too long. Nobody is speaking or talking. Mm-hmm. I have not heard anything from the police. I don't know if they're doing their job or not. I've been trying to investigate myself, trying to find out information from people he knew and associates, people that, that may be around or know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, and just make sure you keep your phone as steady as you can, because you'll get blurry and stuff. Just so you know, for the video part of it. So tell me about your son. What happened to him? You said it's been about 7 years, like 2017, right?
It has been 7 years. It's been 7. It's going on 8 in August.
Mm-hmm. So what happened? How'd you find out what happened to your son and all of that?
My nephew called me like around almost midnight and telling me that my son was shot. He told me to go over there and check on him. And so I go over there not knowing I'm going to see yellow tape. I'm thinking I'm just going to see an ambulance, and my son was shot and going to the hospital. But when I got there, it was totally different. He was laying in the middle of the street with something covered over him, and they would not let me see him at all.
So what happened after that?
Well, we just sat there a while and waited till the police were doing what they did. They was taking so long. Me and my nephew left. Mm-hmm. And some detectives came out the next day to speak with me, to ask me about my son and who he knew. And I spoke with them for a minute. After that, I heard from no one since after that day. And that just is not sitting good with me.
Yeah, that's what's interesting, because I know as I was going through the whole process of researching your son's case, I saw that there was, like, at one point there was a news conference. There was like a Crime Stoppers thing, that kind of happened, mm-hmm. and all of that. So did everything end? Did you have any media?
No, nothing. We just did a Crime Stopper, and that was it. Nothing. I have not heard nothing else about my son. Nothing. Nobody come forward or nothing. So I don't know what's going on. I always put it out on Facebook, because mm-hmm. I know a lot of people that stayed in that building be on Facebook. So somebody knows something, reach out and say something.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's interesting too. So just so I understand your experience, this is the Detroit Police Department, correct? They're the ones who's handling, because I submitted some records requests from them, and I'm still waiting to hear back. So right. Basically, so when this occurred, I mean, you had some contact with the detectives, right? Initially, I mean, there had to have been that, right? And then it just kind of ended that day. They came and they notified you.
The next day, I heard nothing else, and a detective, Shelby, always reached out to me to let me know what was going on, which was nothing, no updates or nothing. So. And he retired and passed it on to someone else. And the someone else, I never heard from anything. So I don't know what's going on with them. I know they're doing a poor job.
When I made contact with the Detroit Police Department, I started asking questions about the case and the detective, and I did get a response telling me to resubmit my request through an online portal. After some back and forth, they wanted me to give them Carmela's number, and within a few days, they made contact and she found out who was on her son's case. Now, Carmela says she hasn't learned anything new about her son's homicide. And as for any new information for my reporting on the case, well, as of now, I got nothing. But I do have a video of an old press conference they held back in 2017. Check this out.
Crime Stoppers of Michigan is asking concerned citizens to speak up against violence. Turhan Clay was killed on Tuesday, August 8, 2017, at approximately 11:45 p.m. on Detroit's west side. According to family, Turhan was walking down Woodward Avenue near State Fair with a black male identified as Smoke. A masked individual appeared from the bushes and began fighting with Turhan, resulting in Turhan being shot and killed.
I'm so lost and hurt right now. And I just want to know, whoever knows something, please speak up. I miss my son so much. Please, please contact the police, contact Crime Stopper. Let them know what you saw, what you know, what you think you might know. Anything will help, because it doesn't make sense.
You know, when you think about your son's case and like other cases of people, because I know, the crime rate it is what it is. That's just the reality of what's happening, in certain cities and things like that. So, I mean, do you feel like, have you talked to other parents who also have this type of scenario, and are they experiencing the same thing?
No, but me as a parent, I feel like them as a police department, they really did not take my son murder serious. I really do think that. I think they just thought it was just a drug deal going bad. That is what I'm thinking, because nobody reached out and said nothing. And they going by what people said in the building. Where's the people in the building? They spoke on my son, but nobody knows what happened. Somebody knows what happened.
No, where was your son? And can you explain to me what the story is about what you believe or what you were told that happened to him? What do you know?
Well, what I was told is he left the State Fair building where he was staying with a friend called Snoop. They was all eating dinner. After Turhan got there eating dinner, he was going to go to the gas station. And he asked any of them, did they need anything? He left out. I don't know if he was by himself or walking with someone. I'm not sure. But I do know they said that he was over at the gas station, and then somebody called him and wanted him to meet him at the transit center because they wanted to buy some weed. He sold nickel bags of weed. He was going down there to meet somebody, I guess. I'm not sure, but he got down there and they say he got into a fight with someone. It was 3 young men down there, I heard. He got into a fight with someone and somebody jumped out the bushes and chased and shot him down. Karma is a mug. People don't realize when they do things, karma come back to you. It might not be the same way it went out, but something's going to happen. I'm not even worried about it because I know my son is saved. He's up there with the Lord. I'm not even stressing about it no more. I do not forgive the person that took my son away from me. I do not forgive them. I'm sorry, it's hard. I even went to God with this. I cannot forgive them because you took something that belonged to me. Who are you to have the right to take something from somebody and just shoot and kill and just think you're going to live your life? That's not how life works. So I hope they live in miserable right now and thinking about all the things they did, and karma is coming for them. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. I just pray and hope my son can still get justice if somebody speaks up and says something.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, when you think about things in retrospect, do you think anything could have been done differently to
A
change
whole
the
lot
direction
different.
of where he was going with things?
Yes, a whole lot different because the people that called themselves his friends in the building, I heard they knew what was going on. So Somebody set my son up, and it could have been totally different. My son was a sweetheart, would give you the shirt off his back. I don't understand why he had to be taken out like that. It just didn't make sense. My son was a fun, loving young man. He was only 27.
Mm-hmm.
He
And,
didn't even get to live his life like he wanted. I wanted to watch my son walk down the aisle and get married, even had grandkids for me. I don't get none of that. It's very hurtful.
tell me about the environment of where you guys were living, because I know you don't live in that area anymore, which is good. But I'm just wondering, how much of the environment had an impact on him, and like, and how things were at that time.
The environment was terrible. I swear, I wish I would have never moved over there because my son probably would still be alive right now. I wish I would have never moved over there. And I really did not want my son to come over there. When he came to stay with me, I told him, I said, Turhan, look, please do not interact with people in this building. I said, please, I do not want you to go to jail. I don't want you to get murdered. Please do not interact with these people. And he's so friendly, always somewhere smiling, happy. Met people anyway. Come, Ma, I met such and such. I'm like, no. I said, no, I don't want you to deal. Because me living there, I lived there for 2 years before he came to stay with me. So me seeing what's going on, exactly why I didn't want him to come. It was just too much. I just was like, oh, and it's exactly why I moved away because I did not like it over here. I
Mhm.
mean, you have to watch when you walk to the Myers, walk to the bus stop or to the gas station. You have to watch your surroundings over there.
Mhm.
And after my son was murdered, a few other young men was murdered. I don't know what that was about, but
Mm.
I'm just praying and hoping that it wasn't the same person. I don't see how people can live with themselves when you take a life and how you can just live with yourself and go on with your life. Like, no, it's not right.
So tell me from the standpoint of from how you are now, how are you, and how is your family doing, the impact of all this that's happened to you?
Oh, the impact. I have had a stroke since then. My mom has passed since then. She passed 2 years after Turhan was murdered. And that's the bad thing about it. Like everything that I love is being taken away from me. It seems like it's hard every day. Every day is a struggle. Every day I'm thinking about my son. Every single day. I have pictures of him. I just can't stop looking at his picture. I always post him on Facebook trying to get some type of help, letting him know I'm not forgetting him ever. I'm forever loving and caring about my son. That was my heart, my everything. Turhan, he loved to eat. He was an eater. He was working at a bakery. He loved eating. He was like, Ma, I work at this bakery. I make all type of stuff. He used to bring stuff home sometimes. He's just a fun loving guy. I mean, very nice looking. All the young ladies liked him. I think the guys was jealous of him. He loved to dress nice, always had a pair of fresh gym shoes. They was jealous of my son over there. I know they was. They was jealous of him. He liked to dress nice, look nice,
Hmm.
and
Go ahead.
people look at you and always when people see you doing good, somebody else want to pull you down. I have 3 sons. Ever since my son was born, I always used to tell them, look, I don't know about the streets. I said, but you know what? You don't have no friends in the street. Who your friend is me and God. I said, you watch out for other young men out there looking at you and watching you because they want what you got. If they ain't trying to get what you trying to get, don't even deal with them. If they ain't trying to get, leave them alone because them the ones that'll try to take you out because they want what you got. I used to tell my sons that all the time. That's why it just made me so mad when I found out he was murdered. Because I never, ever bought my sons guns to play with. And for him to be murdered by a gun, that just shattered my heart. Like, And I used to tell him all the time, come from over there, because I moved. I used to beg him to come stay with me, come from over there. He said, Ma, I ain't going nowhere. He like, I'm good over here. Ma, quit worrying about me. I said, no, come from over there, please. You already told me the young men over there hating on you, telling you you shouldn't be over there because they don't want you over there because you over there. They feel like the little $5 you making every time you make $5 is supposed to be theirs. Come from over there. He just was not that pride. My son was a strong young man. He stood up for himself. He was not a punk. And I know that because I didn't raise no punk. So I know my son was just standing his ground, but he wasn't finna let nobody run him off. I already know that. I know my son.
From what I saw, he was planning to go to to become like a pastry chef, and so he had things that he was trying to do future wise.
Yes. That week, the week he was murdered, that weekend, he was like, Ma, I'm finna get my apartment. Because a young lady he was messing around with had a baby. He said, Ma, I have a son. And the young lady reached out and everything and sent me pictures of the baby and everything. And he looked like my son. But after my son was murdered, I reached out to her. She told me he was not my son's son. So from there, I just left it alone because I'm like, if he's not my son's son, I'm not going to keep chasing you down because I'm trying to be his grandmother. But if he's not my grandson, I'm not going to keep, no.
Mm-hmm.
But since my son been gone, before like the first 2 years, he used to come to me all the time, Ma, find my son, find my son. And when I found her and reached out and asked her about a DNA test, she wanted to charge me to take a DNA test to prove that it wasn't my son's son. So if she's trying to do that, I said, well, hey, if he's not my son's son, we don't even have to go through all that.
Is there anything that you would have done differently, you think?
Yes, I would not have moved over there on State Fair. I would not have moved over there at all.
Mm.
Yep.
What about afterwards? Do you feel like you could have done anything differently with it when in dealing with the police department or investigators or anything?
Well, by me now, I didn't have transportation at the time, so I couldn't get back and forth like I wanted to stay in contact with them and reach out and be at the police station every day to make them work on my son's case. That is what I wanted to be doing, but I couldn't. It was hard for me to get around. I stayed right on the west side, and so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a vehicle to get back and forth. That's why I stayed on Facebook trying to reach out to people and talk to people and find out information.
There is a Crime Stoppers reward out there right now. I believe it's
Yes,
$2,500. That's the last thing you've
yes,
heard of?
yes, it is. Yeah. And
Oh,
if I get some more money, I'm gonna add to that because I really want my son's case solved. I really want to find out. I really think I know who is the person, but I don't want to say no names. And I don't have ways to get around and look for people. But I do really believe that I know who it is in my heart. I know.
mhm.
I have seen this person after the fact. They couldn't even look me in my face. And I really think it's that person. They couldn't even look at me. And it was not at my son's funeral. And my son used to be with them all the time. Well, they used to be with him all the time. And I used to ask my son, why are you with them? They like, Mom. My son used to be like, Mom, they cool. They like, I don't know. No, they not. Not from what you told me that they did to you. So no, they are not. That's not the kind of person you want to keep hanging around. But my son, he the type, if somebody needs something, he gonna help you. And he called himself helping this young man, making sure he was straight, like far as eating. He like mine. He needed a couple of things. I looked out for him. You cannot, oh God, it just,
Mm.
I tried to tell him so many times what to watch out for. I know I miss my son so much. That was my twin, my baby. I love him. Whew, if I can have a hug, I miss that, my son. I miss hearing him saying, Mom, and calling me. Every day he had to check in. I have 3 sons. They have to check in. Check in mean call me, let me know you good. And every day, me and my son talk every single day. He have to check in. Let me know. Let me hear your voice. Mm-hmm. Let me know you woke up this morning and you fine.
So if there is anything that you would say to people who have information in your son's murder, what would you say to those people?
Please speak up. Turhan is not resting. He's still walking. He's restless. I just want him to rest. It's hard. Please, somebody speak up, say something. Do your due diligence, please. Speak up, say something. Bring him peace. Really, it's the right thing to do. If I knew something, I'm speaking up. For real, I'm speaking up. Why hold back when a family is suffering? They want to know who killed their loved one. You're supposed to speak up and say something. Because if that was your family, you would want somebody to speak up and say something. Somebody say something, please, for Turhan's sake. And he was so nice to people. Look out for everybody. You went and spoke to anybody in that Stateville building, they would tell you about my son. Nothing bad. Nobody had nothing bad to say about my son because he was not a bad person. I just want to say, tell my son I love him. And I'm still working on him, baby. I'm not giving up. To the day I die, I got you. I love you. Plenty of hugs and kisses to you. Rest in peace, baby.
When it comes to my final thoughts about this case, I think it's horrible that Turhan's mother has been without any answers about what happened to her son and why. And while there are rumors in the streets about what may have happened, the fact of the matter is that it has to be proven in a court of law. It's also emotionally draining for Carmela, who had no contact with investigators for years. And through my questioning and contact with police about the case, she at least knows who's handling her son's case. There was some coverage of the case, but unfortunately, it faded into the background with so many others in that community. And I can only hope that sharing Carmela's story will push someone to come forward with solid information in this case. If you do know anything about what happened to Turhan, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And remember, you can remain 100% anonymous. And at last check, there was a $2,500 reward for information leading to an arrest in this case. I'll keep an eye on the situation and I'll let you know what happens next. If you have a case that you want me to check out, just message me on the Intrigued Full Effect website or email me at intriguedfulleffect@hotmail.com. Until next time, be safe and stay true. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the Intrigued Full Effect, Curious Cases, Disappearances, and Other Stuff podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the host. The primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform. The host of this podcast assumes no liability or responsibility for any activities in connection with opinions shared in the podcast. The podcast and blog associated with it shall not be used in any legal capacity or as a basis for expert testimony. Any copyright material in the podcast is approved by the owner or is part of the public domain. Music by Pond 5.